Rolex. You're saying to you off.
I think it's wrong in every way possible that you need to be grateful of spending your own hard-earned money. Oh, you need to buy this diamond necklace, then I'll maybe sell you a Rolex. Go f*** yourself. Because people flexing, oh, look at this diamond fucking shit, acting like it's worth $1 million when it's worth absolutely nothing. Like all these people, like the Island Boys and rappers, they're all lying to an audience. And now there's someone there that is actually telling the truth.
Tell me, what's the realities of being a watch dealer?
I'm a millionaire on Monday morning.
Yep.
I'm broke in the afternoon. Okay. And that is the start of the week. It is what it is. But the watch you see here has never seen, a camera has never caught this watch on camera. This is the first time this watch has ever been seen, right?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the CEOCAST, the #1 place of showcasing business and entrepreneurship. Now, if you saw last week's episode with Andrew Tate, the top G, I was thinking to myself, who do we get on next? Who's along the same lines as the top G? And then I thought for a second, what about the God tier?
God tier.
God tier, Nico Leonard. What's going on?
Well, doing well, mate.
Yeah?
Doing well. Welcome in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Oh, great to be here.
Welcome.
Man. In your beautiful store.
Aye, yeah. Beautiful. The lights don't work. Fuck's sake, that's embarrassing.
It's all right, man. It's all right. The main thing is we got the stock here. We're never running out of stock.
That's it. The funny bit is, this is actually the first time we have ever recorded something in the shop.
Because you haven't got anything on the channel ever. I was looking at it, I was thinking, I haven't seen this before.
No. It's also going to be one of the last times because we're going to refurb the entire shop. So it's going to be exciting.
Can your audience look forward to seeing some videos here or still not yet?
I'm not sure because it's a small space. Our shop is actually based in a bank vault in a hotel which was previously a bank. Mm-hmm. So
this is actually the vault, which is sick.
We have a small space to work with.
Yeah, so. and it's sick as well because you still got the vault door.
Yeah,
as well.
That's class, isn't it?
It's proper good. I mean, it just looks like this is the place to be, sort of thing.
This is the vault, mate. Yeah. This is the vault. I'll lock you up in the middle of the night, no bother.
I don't mind, bro. I'm surrounded by Rolexes.
To be fair, I have slept here once.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, I was drunk at night and I couldn't be arsed. I couldn't get a taxi. Yeah. So I fell asleep in one of the chairs there. With the doors closed and stuff.
Yeah. How was it?
Can't remember much.
Okay, it's one of those nights. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and set the bell notification to all so you never miss a single episode. But we'll start off with that. So, how's life been treating you so far? How you been? How's your day going? I know, you've had a busy day. Busy day. Picked you guys up. Was at a bed early. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I picked you guys up from the airport. Beach and pool was very important because everyone that enters our premises, everyone that enters our office has to be competing.
One game though. So.
Well, you've won one game and I won the other.
Yeah, but I mean it's your pool table, so people got to expect you to win. Yeah. It's one of them ones.
Good one, good one. Then I had a good amount of clients. Yeah. We're working on a deal. It's worth about £1 million at the moment. So a lot of my attention at the moment is into that deal and making that happen and facilitating that. So it's been a chaos of a day, and now this podcast.
Did you say $1 million?
Yes, yeah.
What watch is that?
It's 2 watches, 2 extremely rare Audemars Piguet Royal Oaks, and to a very famous big person. Can't really give any details, but we've secured the watches now, and that's incredible, mate. We'll probably show that in one of the vlogs.
Yeah, we'll look out for the channel. This is the reason why I wanted to get you on, because everyone loves watches, right? Everyone. Yeah. I think I've slowly started to get into watches. I've done a couple of podcasts with guys, maybe Trotters and Chrono. Yeah. So I think I'll be very honest. When I was in those podcasts, I didn't have much knowledge about watches.
Did you have the Tudor already? No,
I didn't. So
where did you buy the Tudor?
When or where?
Where?
Oh, Goldsmiths.
All right, very good. And when?
Not too long ago. I think it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
All right, good watch, mate. One of the best GMTs on the market today. Yeah. Value for money.
I was going to ask your opinion on it later on, but you know what? I actually like it quite a lot, and for the price, I don't think you can go wrong at all.
Hands down, best value for money GMT in the world.
That's it. So literally off the back of those podcasts, when I started getting more knowledge, watches, started watching a whole lot of your videos, and then almost kind of built a passion for watches. I was like, yeah, cool. You know what? Let me buy a watch, and then this Tudor come up. with the whole plan, you know, you got to get buying history and all that sort of stuff. So the plan is to eventually down the line get a date just as long as I don't sell this. So, you know, dealer, if you're watching this, still here, don't worry.
He's not flipping it to me.
Yeah.
I have a special plan, I'll pay you.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone loves it. And I think everyone also loves the idea of being a watch dealer and the lifestyle that it revolves around. I mean, if people look at you, and we'll get into this later on as well. I mean, you picked us up from the airport in your G-Wagon. Yeah. Right? And you've also got 812 Superfast.
Yes.
Ferrari. Right? So, I mean, and, you know, other watch dealers also driving nice cars and stuff. So it seems like a very lavish and very luxurious lifestyle on the outside.
Yeah, I live a very good life, yeah. I live a very good life now. But I don't really think that's got to do with watch dealing or selling watches, because I don't know how other watch dealers do that, but I know the margins are very small, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like for me, my life, like I have several companies, and that allows me to have a certain lifestyle, but next to that, it's also tax write-off. The A12 is simply a tax write-off. Yeah. Promotional material, you know. So, tax man, got you sorted.
HMRC, don't worry.
HMRC, it's all sorted, mate. So, to be honest, like of course, if you sell big ticket items, million plus, and the minimum margin is about 10%, or your average margin is about 10%. You can make 100 grand on the spot, but for me, if I look at our numbers, and we would be one of the biggest UK sellers, we are, as a business, we're doing very well, but like I wouldn't say that I'm able to drive a Ferrari because we sell so many watches, to be honest. I don't think that that's correct.
No?
No.
Okay,
no,
fair. So then tell me, what's the realities of being a watch dealer in your opinion, in your life?
The reality for me as a watch dealer is that it's massively stressful. I am broke. I'm a millionaire on Monday morning.
Yep.
I'm broke in the afternoon.
Okay.
And that is the start of the week. It is what it is. Like if I need to buy stock, if we sell a certain amount of watches that week, I need to buy new stock. But the problem is getting those watches at a certain price where you can make a profit, right? And it's always the same. You can never buy a watch back at the price that you sold it at. It's difficult.
Why is that? Is that because of the price that is at now, or because you once knew that you bought it for cheaper?
No, prices are going up. It's very simple. And if you see that year by year, we're now in a period which is naturally where the prices are a little bit lower. But that's naturally. But you need to really compare that quarter by quarter or year by year. Then you can really make a good analysis on that, where the prices are. But if you compare this with the prices of last year, we're still 16% higher. And that means that like we need to constantly be creative with our balance sheet. It's like last year we've done 26 times our balance sheet.
That's just bloody amazing.
That is insane. Like I mean, that is creative. That is being creative in how to raise funds or how to achieve certain stock levels.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Sonomos. Now, if you don't already know about Sonomos, I don't know where you've been, because they've got some of the nicest and most long-lasting perfumes out there. One of my top favorites is the Arabian Nights oil, and just a couple drops keep you smelling fresh the whole day. Sonomos have got stores all over the UK, so chances are wherever you're watching this from, they've probably got a store near you, and if not, they're also online based as well. So there's no reason for you not to get it. And if you don't know what fragrance you want to get, I suggest going to the store, checking them all out and seeing which one you like the most. So get your Sonomos fix today and use the code CEOCAST15 for 15% off your purchase. Give me an example then, because we're in your store right now, and as you can see, we've got a whole selection of beautiful watches here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've had to buy all of these.
Yeah.
So tell me, this whole shelving unit, what's the stock value that you're holding here right now?
About approximately 10 million.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive one here? I see a Richard Mille there, so.
Yeah, Richard Mille, that's nice. It's an RM1102, full titanium. You see that 5711-14?
Yeah.
That's the olive green 5711, 5976, right? These are all hype pieces, as we call that, right? Yeah. But I want to draw your attention to some other pieces, which are 10 times more important, which is actually the pieces that I love the most in the world.
Are we talking up here?
The vintage Daytonas. I think this is one of the most craziest collections of vintage Daytonas you'll ever see in your life.
Why is that? What makes this one so special?
Because when is the last time anyone has ever seen a 14 karat 6263? I mean, that's a reference number. Now I'm going specifically in details.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a full set 6263 14 carats, so made it not in 18 but made in 14 carats. So it was only made for the American market in years made, and probably 8 years. And there's one
full set.
Yeah. And no, like, let me tell you one thing. We sell in the shop, and this is not an advertisement, but in the shop, we sell anything from £1,000 upwards to a couple of million. And some really, really insane heavy hitters. So like piece uniques, one-offs, Comexes, fully stickered Kermits, the first series of the Kermit, to George Daniels, to FP Journe, to extreme and I think that is, I don't think that there's a place in the world where you have that range from you go in and you can buy a watch in Hamilton at 600-700 quid, or a Tech Heuer at 1,200 quid, but also George Daniels at 2 million quid.
Yeah, that's mad.
You see what I mean? I don't think that there's any place like that
exists.
And that has been the biggest dream of my life. That has been, this is like what you see here is my life.
So literally anyone can walk in here with any sort of price in their head.
Yeah.
And you'd be able to cater for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is a beautiful thing, because most places that you can go to, starting price minimum $2,000, $3,000, and that's a retail.
Yeah, but listen, for me as a business, and we've had this discussion a good amount of times, as I always talk highly about Casio being God tier.
Yeah.
We had conversations that we're going to stock Casio, but in a way, it's going to interrupt our operation, because there's a lot of work that comes to play you have to do. But I do want to start at a lower price point, so we can cater for the entire range.
Yeah.
But Casio for me is God tier still, it's just hard to stock that. You know what I mean?
What makes it God tier though? Because when I was in school, everyone was rolling around with, G-Shocks.
Exactly.
So what makes it God tier?
Childhood memories.
Childhood memories.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how old you are. Yeah. It doesn't matter from what financial background you come from or what status you
could get one.
You have a G-Shock. Yeah. That's a fact. You can be the richest guy on the planet, you have a G-Shock. Or you can be the guy on the street next door who has a G-Shock.
G-Shocks, yeah.
Or a Casio. That's God there. And I have incredible memories with like the remote control watch where you just change channels and neighbors and stuff.
I want to say that's where a lot of people probably got into watches, in terms of having the passion for it, in terms of my age group, and then growing that passion into eventually Rolex in sixth form. I remember there was a lot of people, don't ask me how they got them, in sixth form wearing Rolexes and stuff like that. But it was crazy times.
Aye.
You mentioned there full set, right? So if people don't actually understand, what is a full set?
A full set means that every bit of documentation that the watch came with when the watch left the shop for the first time, in this case in 1978, is still present.
You have everything with it?
Everything.
Meaning even the box, papers, receipts?
Receipt, box, papers, everything.
And does that actually add value to the watch?
Massively in a vintage watch.
If it didn't have a full set, how much would it be?
I think if that watch didn't have a full set, it's still an insanely rare watch, right? 14 karat. To give you an idea, the 14 karat alloy was only made for the American market because in the late 70s, the import tax on gold was extremely high, right? In America. So the Rolex Daytona wasn't popular at all. It was a lesser watch than their competition.
Because they couldn't really sell it.
No one really wanted that watch. And then with 18 karat being the import tax being so high, the watch was going to be priced higher than its entire competition. So therefore they made that watch in 14 karat for the American market. Now, the watch itself is extremely rare because of that story, right? Because there's probably in that reference number only like 20 or 30 ever produced, right? Making that for a watch now being still in pristine condition, insane.
So
right?
Go on.
That watch therefore is naked worth probably between 400 and 500,000 pounds. Now being a full set, having everything, when you bring that to auction and someone wants it, someone wants that. So they will go
as much as they
and
want.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, I didn't think it was going to be that much.
Like, I mean, you wouldn't give it in the first glance, but it's the significance, the importance, and as well that the Daytona is one of the most important watches ever created. I mean, introduced in 1963. Insane.
I think it was it on your video? I mean, it must have been. You're the only watch video channel that I watch, right? That wasn't meant to be a pun, but
you need to watch the others as well, mate.
I do sometimes, but
watch
you're entertaining as well.
You need to watch Roman. Watchfinder's very good. Watchfinder you'll learn a lot from, but
the thing is, the knowledge is one thing, but then the man behind it, the entertainment makes
appreciate
it
the support.
the knowledgeable thing, right? So what was I going to say off the back of that? Was it Daytona have an anniversary soon or something like that?
Yeah, so the Daytona was first introduced in 1963.
Yep.
In 2013, they introduced, to celebrate the 50th anniversary,
yep.
The Platinum Daytona, the Platona, a watch that nobody wanted, by the way.
That's one, yeah, I saw it on, you done this video of Supercar Blondie and she held on, right?
Yeah. Nobody wanted that watch, same as no one wanted the Daytona in the beginning of it anyway.
Yeah.
And now today, it's one of the most sought after watches in the world.
So what you think, because that was 50th and you're saying with 60th, they'll bring out another one?
I expect that we're going to see a change in the Daytona line.
Yeah.
I hope they're going to increase the case size. They've done this before. This is 37 mil, as you can see.
Yep.
This is 1987. This is my birth year, 6265.
Yeah.
So this is from my birth year. Full set as well. This one is not for sale, to be honest.
Is it not? No.
No.
I thought everything would be for sale.
Yeah. No. Dream on.
Certainly, someone could come along with a price, and you could be like, okay, you know what?
For me to find another 6265 in 1987 as a full set is gonna be probably impossible.
Okay. So for you, you'd rather keep it.
But there's no point in selling it because I can't replace it.
Yeah.
I will not be able to replace that. It's not like a modern Rolex, right? Where you could buy another. Right? Or you look for a day and you find it. You see what I mean? It's easy enough. This is stuff that's not being produced anymore.
Yeah.
And then all original bezel, original dial, original hands. Like, this is how it came out of the shop for the first time. Like, that's just, that will be, like, I genuinely think that's going to be impossible.
So we were talking about Rolex off camera earlier this morning, and we'll get to that later on. But before I do, I just wanted to ask, right, what does a typical transaction for you look like on a day-to-day basis?
For my business or for me?
Let's do business and then you.
It depends. Like,
buying or selling?
Buying or selling. So, if people want to sell their watch, they usually go to our website, prideandpinion.com. We have a form and people fill that in. That goes automatically into our database. Yeah. And then I have 2 people that are chasing that up every day. So we get about 150 watches offered a day. Okay. And it's extremely intense. And recently on Google reviews, people say it takes too long to reply and I leave a bad review. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I'm trying to do everything I can to facilitate that, right? Because we're still a very small team. Yeah. We have about, like, in the office, about 12 people. So
plan eventually be to recruit more people for that purpose.
Yeah, you see what I mean? And we're working on that, but that's how people sell, or people walk to or go into our shop. Now, our shop was always very, very busy, and we couldn't really put the right attention, because I think that it's massively important that someone that walks in here and parts with their hard-earned money, that they need to get the right attention. Right. Therefore, I don't want people to be rushed to the full shop, because it's a small shop as well. People feel rushed. We introduced a appointment system. So from Monday and Tuesday, the shop is closed. The shop is closed. Only for appointments only. Mm-hmm. So there you need to book a specific appointment. From Wednesday to Saturday, the shop is open, normal, but we're going to screw that down to as well appointment only. Okay. And then we have inside sales that sell watches all over the world in our office. Yeah. So we have 4 salespeople on the floor that actively sell across the world, and then we have people in the shop as well.
How's that work? Do they end up calling up current clients, or?
We get a lot of DMs on Instagram. We get a lot of. We have a live chat. We have emails, inquiries. It's massively busy. Like you felt the vibe in the office, mate.
I love the vibe, man. Like I said, if everyone comes in for or smashes. I suppose it's good in a sense, yeah, right? Because if you've got a new member of staff that joins, and you say, "Come, go on, I'll play you the pool," and then they get murked, but then they show that the boss is having that sort of banter with them, And then it brings the team together in that sense.
For me, it's very important, right? The team is the backbone of my organization, right?
Yeah.
So the team is the most important. It's not about me, it's about us. And we make decisions as a team. It's not that I, as a CEO, makes the decision. We do that as a team. And that's just massively important. And I think the balance that we have in the team from very young and unexperienced, but extremely driven, right? To someone that worked for 12 years for Patek Philippe, to someone that ran, say, 40, 50 retail shops, my right-hand man, my operations director, Stephen. Like, we have the perfect balance, right? And that is something that is very important for me, the culture and the balance, right? Young guys that are eager, that are hungry to succeed, not the guys that have the best grades on school, just the people that love watches the most.
Is it specifically young people?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because...
Is it more because they they're starting out in their life and they, have more drive naturally?
No, it's not like what is the definition of young? I feel young as well, you see what I mean? But you wouldn't see a 50, 60-year-olds like in our business, like actively in our business. And that's not because we don't want that. It's because we just never got to speak with someone that is as passionate about watches in that age group. You see what I mean? But as well, I think the balance in our team and going out for pints on a Friday or going to football together, outside of work, the guys are very active with each other as well. And the same as me and Stephen.
So it should be with business. So we've talked a bit about business. Now we know where the watch market is. Now we know what kind of stock we got, right? Yeah. I want to throw it all the way back. So if people have been paying attention to yourself on socials and stuff like that, they would know. I mean, even though we're in Belfast right now, you're not originally from Belfast. You're not originally Irish, right? No. You're originally from where?
I'm born and raised in Amsterdam, so born and raised in the Netherlands. Yeah. I'm Dutch. Moved from the Netherlands when I was 25.
So what was your whole upbringing like then? Talk to me about that. When was your first time you piqued interest in watches? What was your childhood like, school life?
I had a wonderful childhood, right? I had the best parents in the world. They still are, by the way. And no, my parents were hardworking people. Lower middle class. When I was born, when my sister was born, my parents were in proper poverty. But when I was born, lower middle class, and my father is a hardworking man, worked 7 days a week, and that was the attitude. That's how he brought me up. He's like, "You're fucking working, and that was me. So I'm a workhorse. I work 7 days a week, and yeah, that's what I got from him. My mom was a nurse, and she was a very caring person. Is a very caring person, and listen. We didn't have much money, but if I wanted something, I had to work for it,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, my parents, incredible people. I'm very, very grateful with the upbringing that I had. Personally, I just struggled a lot in school. I struggled a lot.
With grades and stuff, or?
Not really with grades or anything like that. I would not say that I would be the smartest kid, but I would definitely not be the dumbest. I would have skipped classes. I would be all right, but I just couldn't be arsed. I was bored. I was always bored, and then I'd done things I shouldn't be doing. I don't regret a fucking thing, may I add.
Why is that? Why do you not regret anything?
It's because why would I regret anything that I've done? You can better regret the things that you haven't done than the things you have done. Yeah. I mean, fuck it, right? The world is your oyster. You need to fucking do everything you can, and you need to enjoy every second of it. It's like, what the fuck why do I regret my youth? Or why would I regret my school career? Leaving school at the age of 16, no diploma, nothing. I never felt as a kid that I fitted in anywhere anyway. So the educational institution is to make sure you fit in something, to fit in a job. I fucking never fitted in any job because I was fired from every job. So
same as me.
I was a disaster. So school was just not for me. No.
So you mentioned there that that you left school at 16, right?
Yeah.
So what was your choice for not going to college?
Because I just didn't want to.
Oh, you just did?
No, I was an ignorant prick, and not a teacher in the world would ever be able to say anything to me, and I didn't believe anything. I was just like, Oh, mate, I was a prick. Like, I genuinely was a prick at school. My sister became a teacher, and don't know why. I actually don't know why.
You don't know that now?
No, like, I mean, I was such a disaster. Like, it's unbelievable.
You know? So then when did you move off to Belfast?
When I was 25.
25, okay, so that's some years after. In that period between when you were 16 and 25, what were you doing? Just constantly working?
Just
retail?
shitty jobs, mate. Like call center, McDonald's. Worked for my father in his shop. He sold photo cameras. Just other stupid stuff. Get myself into trouble mostly. Like, so just shitty jobs. And like, I fucking hated it. I fucking hated life, mate. I genuinely hated life.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I hated the environment I was in, and I needed change. And I always, as a kid, right? As a kid, I always wanted to live in a different country. For some reason, I always said this, right? And my parents said at the age of fucking 6 or something. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they told me. Age of 6, I said, I'm gonna move to America when I'm old or whatever, when I'm older.
Yeah, for sure.
Never been in America at that time. What the fuck do I know? Looking backwards now, being in America every month, who the fuck wants to live there? Like, you see what I mean? No, joking. But I clearly never felt at home, to be honest. No.
Okay, so then you got your I mean, you told me off. You told, sorry, packing your bags, that stuff.
No, it was saying.
I was gonna say, so you told me off camera earlier when we were. Well, basically, let me put it straight to the audience because they're gonna be thinking what's going on right now. We've been together since 9 o'clock, and the time's currently. We've been together today for 6 hours, right?
Yes.
So we've had this conversation off camera. Yeah. Obviously, naturally, you asked the questions, right? Yeah. And you told me that you packed up your bags and you literally left Netherlands.
Yeah.
And plans to travel. Yeah. And ended up here.
Yeah, that was funny. I bragged my way into my sister's husband. Gave me a Volvo V40. Yep. A green thing, completely beaten up, but mechanically fucking perfect. And I was supposed to pay that off. I think I never paid it off, to be honest. But he gave me that. He was a car mechanic, and he gave me that car. My mom gave me 2,000 euros, and I just left. I just packed the car up with my stuff. My most valuable thing was my PlayStation 4. It was PlayStation 4 at the time, or was it? Yeah, it was, I think, a PlayStation 4. You
took that with you?
No, PlayStation 3. It was 2013. I remember that because the PlayStation 4 came out that year. Yeah. Right? And that was all I had, some pillows and shit, and that was me. I was done with this life, and I just wanted to see the world. The first place I stopped was Belfast, and I fucking never left.
So what did you do? You drove from Netherlands, Amsterdam, and then where from there?
Amsterdam. There's a harbour town called IJmuiden, close to Amsterdam. There's a boat going from IJmuiden to Newcastle. Yep. It's an overnight boat, and from Newcastle it's 4.5 hours to Kernryan in Scotland. And I took a ferry there to Belfast.
Okay, so you drove intentionally straight to Belfast?
Yeah, because I wanted to be on a ferry. I wanted to discover Ireland for some reason.
And you didn't think about stopping in Scotland? Because obviously, you go to Scotland on the way.
Not really, no.
No?
No, not really. I just wanted to go on a ferry. it was not the destination that mattered. It was the actual journey, being on a ferry, driving with the station wagon.
Did you go on your own?
What?
Did you go on your own?
Say that again?
Did you go on your own?
Yes, I went alone, yeah.
How was that? When you were traveling, what was you thinking at the time?
Scary as fuck. I had a girlfriend at home at the time, and it was just weird. I just wanted, I just needed to leave, right? So I'd done everything I needed to do to leave. And I knew that the girlfriend at the time, I knew that if that was 100% serious for me, I would have never left. But I just needed change in my entire life. My social circle, some negativity around me, and it was just, I just need to leave here.
I could just imagine, I don't know why it came to my head, I could just imagine her watching this right now.
Whatever. That's her problem, not mine.
Yeah, so then you came to Belfast, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously you didn't start your business there and then, Pride and Pinion. No. Yeah?
Go.
So what was your first step for when you had $2,000, or 2,000 euros, sorry. Yeah. Obviously you had your Volvo, you had your prized possessions. So what did you do? So when you got here,
I needed to get a job.
Yeah.
Right. I arrived in Belfast.
And accommodation, right?
Yeah. So I stayed in Premier Inn on fuck how you call that road, doesn't matter, anyway, it's around the corner.
Yeah.
And I remember paying £45 a night, right? So I was calculating how long can I stay there, right? And for me, it was just, I wanted to just discover the city. And all of a sudden, it was just like the first night, I remember this as it was yesterday, we drove the same road, by the way, coming into Belfast. I purposely always drive that road because that is the road from the port going into Belfast. And there's a quicker road, to be honest, but I always take that road.
Oh, you're saying the road we went on this morning?
Yeah, so that's the road that was the first time I drove into Belfast. And I arrived there in around 6 o'clock in the evening, and parked the car, went to the hotel, parked the car, and then went for a walk. And the hotel was next to the city center, and I just fell in love with the city. I just fell in love with it. People were unbelievable, and met a girl there that night, and kind of turned out into a relationship of 6 years, and that was scary, mate. That was scary. What? 7 years, 6 or 7 years, 6 years.
Your current?
Fuck, I can't. No. That was. Fuck that.
So what? I don't know if you want to keep this on camera anyway, but just for me to understand. So when you came here the first night, essentially, you met her there.
Met a girl, yeah.
So what? Did you stop staying at the Premier Inn and then stay at her house or something?
No. I got myself a shared accommodation.
Okay.
So I got myself shared accommodation, and because of her, I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a job.
Okay. So then, what did you find?
Just a call center job.
Call center, yeah.
Yeah.
How much was that paying per hour and all that sort of stuff? Like, was it just a normal?
14,000 sterling a year. That was what I was making.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, 14,000 sterling a year.
Was that full time as well?
Yeah, full time. Customer service for Apple support. It's a company called Concentrix here. I was fired after 3 weeks.
Why?
I don't know, because I was a dick. I was probably a dick.
I'm just trying to think at the time, what was minimum wage in? Like, is 14 grand, like...
I wouldn't know. It was about just over £1,000 I got a month or something.
That's in 2013, right?
Yeah.
2013. I think that's about average. I don't know.
£14,000 a year, Concentrix, yeah.
That's mad. So then you got fired after that?
Yeah.
And then what? Because, the second you get
then
fired...
I was fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you must be thinking in your head, like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here, sort of thing?
I found a lead generation company called MRP at the time, and then I joined them.
Yeah.
And the relationship became quite serious. So she moved in with me and my wee place after 3 months. After about 3 months, just got into that new job at MRP, and hated every second of it. Absolutely hated every second of it.
What, from the get-go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I hated that job.
What did you do, leave straight away or?
No, I was always late. So at a certain point, they just fired me as well.
So what year is that? That would have been same year?
14 now.
Yeah.
Going into 14. Yeah.
And you didn't start Pride and Pinion up until 6 years ago, right? So what's...
17,
2017?
Yeah.
So then 3 years still of what, just still working, hustling?
No, I got a job offered and there you're missing 3 years.
Yeah.
I got a job, right? So after MRP, right? After that second call center job, it was a bit desperate because I was like, fucking hell, second job I was fired from, right? Fucking shit.
Did it not occur to you at the time, thinking, obviously I know that you had a girlfriend at the time and, situations, all that sort of stuff, but I mean, you might have thought in your head that, let me just go back to Amsterdam.
No, never.
No?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't let my parents down. No, I couldn't let my dad down because he made this comment. He's back in 3 months, and I was like, "Fuck you, I won't." You see what I mean?
The pride.
And I'm like, listen. At that time, I was lazy as fuck. I wasn't doing what I loved, right?
Yeah.
In the meantime, I was always hustling, like fixing watches and taking watches apart, replacing batteries for people, put it on Gumtree and say, okay, please, I can help you out. You see what I mean? So I was making a few quid with that. But then, and this is quite the big change for me, I was approached by Vodafone in Dublin. But like Dublin, Belfast is like an hour and a half drive.
Yep.
No, it's an hour and a half, 90 minutes. So I wanted that job, and it was the manager was an absolute legend, and I've always been very honest. I said, listen, I've been fired from every job, not that I can't sell a fucking thing, but because it's just I'm a problem. He says, I'm a problem too, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, someone really gave me this opportunity, right? and it was just I was able to be myself, and never moved to Dublin. I moved closer to the border where my ex was from.
Yep.
So she was from a town called Banbridge.
So is that closer to
Dublin?
Dublin?
Yes, closer to Dublin. So it was an hour and 15.
Okay.
Or something like an hour and 15 away. And I drove that every single day.
That's not that bad, hour and 15. That's like going from east to west London.
That's the thing when there's no cars on the road. But the M50 at Dublin is like a fucking sitting parking lot. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like equivalent to M25.
Oh, it's the worst road I've ever been on. Yeah. And then every day, right? So from Banbridge County down to Carrickmines, junction 15 on the M50.
So what was that, as a sales job?
Yeah, inside sales. First sales support, then lead generation, then account management. I made a few promotions.
Okay.
The first time I was in a job for more than 3 years.
Okay, so you were there for the remainder of the 3 years?
Yeah, fucking class, mate.
Did you like it, enjoy it, or?
No, I fucking hated it, but I loved the people I was working with.
Yeah.
And that was the difference, right? I was just, I didn't, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm just a lead gen, or I'm just selling something I don't give a shit about, right?
Yeah.
Just working with things I don't give a shit about. And that is the big mistake I've made for most of my life. I've never followed my passion. And that's why I'm a late bloomer, as I call that. I never fucking followed my passion until I was 29. But my last year at Vodafone, or my last 6 months, was a hell. It was an absolute hell.
What was that?
Yeah. And because the team changed, the manager that hired me was away. The team I was in, a few of them were absolute fucking cunts. They exclude you. I was ignored for nearly
That was exactly like my experience in, because I used to work in, not Vodafone, car from warehouse. Right, so same sort of job, same sort of environment. You don't actually care so much about the job, but the people that you're with always have the same mentality. You're having banter, you're enjoying people's company and whatnot. And then the same thing with me. In the last year of working, they changed everything, whole management, people, everything like that. It all changed.
I always felt misunderstood. Yeah. Maybe I was misunderstood. Maybe it was just inside me. I don't know. I don't give a shit. It's the past. Who cares? Yeah. But for me, I've earned my stripes there. I've done well. And I left using the front door. Yeah, first time in my life, by the way, where I wasn't fired.
You left yourself.
Yeah, funny actually, because I drove in. I'll never forget this, because this is insane. On the 1st of September 2017, I drove in the office, and I was the first one there, and the parking lot was just empty, and I was always touring with the idea, or the last couple of months, I'm just going to quit my job, but I can't just quit it. I can't just do that. I need to quit my job, and I need to fucking do... No. All of a sudden, it just dawned to me. Drove in, was the first one there. We have these cards. Open the door of the garage, go in the lift, open the door upstairs, walked in, looked left, looked right. I'm done. This is it. Yeah. I don't give a shit what happens next. I was so incredibly unhappy. That was insane. It was like, if this is life, life is a lie. So I don't need this life. I don't want this life. Same when I was 25 when I left the Netherlands. Exactly that feeling is what I had. So I just said, done. I just quit my job here, done and dusted.
What was the next step for you after that?
The drive back home.
Oh yeah, apart from that, yeah.
The drive back home.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And my first stop was at a bank.
Were you still with your girlfriend when you left?
Yeah.
What did you
Mate, I didn't tell her for 3 months.
Did you not?
No.
So what, don't tell me you were doing the same trip all the time.
No, mate. So I quit my job to sell watches.
Yeah.
Right? Fact. I was like, you know what? And I toured with the idea for years before, right? For years before. I was like, I need to do something with watches. But I'd never had fucking money in my pocket, mate. I never had money in my pocket. How the fuck? Rolex wasn't normal in my family, right?
Yeah, no.
So it was like, what the fuck am I doing? Quit my job, past the AIB bank, right? Which was at the premises in Carrickmines. When you drive out, it's on the right. And it literally said a big advertisement as if it had to be that way. Loan approved within 5 minutes, maximum 40,000 euros. So I walked in, I was like, I'm going to apply for 40,000 euros. And he looked at me, he was like, nah, don't do that. But he said, you actually need to do that online on the online portal. So I'm sitting there in the parking lot on still my Vodafone laptop. applying, done. 20,000 euros approved, done.
Yeah.
Then I drove home.
And then you would have had all your salary saved up as well, or majority.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any savings, mate.
Oh, did you not?
No, 20,000 euros is what I started with.
So when you were working those 3 years, was that just basically covering living costs essentially?
Yeah. My missus at the time, she was studying to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So I provided for both of us, and I was making a good salary, mate. I wasn't that bad. Like, it was not minimum wage, but like, it was just very expensive, and we had 2 dogs, and then it was just chaos. And to be honest, I am very grateful for that happened, and everything happened there. The funny bit is I never told her, so I was like, I'm working from home. So she never knew until I had to tell her. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? You still in pajamas at fucking 10 o'clock? And I'm like, I need to get my life together.
Why didn't you want to tell her?
Because it was a toxic relationship, mate. Because I always felt like because I don't have any qualifications and I don't really have anything to show for, and she was going to become a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like a failure, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so I just always had to fight. Like,
to try and match her level in that sense, or?
Yeah, like I didn't want to disappoint her, you see what I mean? And then I just realized that whole situation is quite toxic. Yeah. But you only know that afterwards, you can only connect the dots looking backwards.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, and that was my situation, yeah. Wow, I've never spoken about that before.
In fact, I want to ask you off camera. Obviously, I know you got a missus now, right? So
yeah.
Is she happy? If she watches this, is she happy?
Oh, no, she's dead on, mate. No, she's dead on.
Okay, just in case I don't want to cause a relationship drama.
Listen, I put this in as well. She knows everything, man.
Okay, then that's fine. It's not on me. What's your missus' name?
Migla.
Migla.
Yeah.
I didn't say it.
She's a star. Yeah, she's a star.
That's good. So when did you meet her?
She's my backbone today.
When did you meet her?
2.5 years ago. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. She kept on pestering me, and I was so focused on work because this was the period just before COVID.
Yeah.
And I was just so focused. I don't want a relationship. I want to ride. You see what I mean? I just want to fucking ride, mate. I don't want relationships. Fuck that. But she kept on pestering me, and at a certain point, I was like, this girl is like me, doesn't give up. She just comes, and not in a dirty way, by the way. She just keeps on. She doesn't give up, and it took her about a year at least of pestering. That I was like, okay, we're going on a date. Now, this was the weird thing, like Christmas, I don't know which year this was, but I didn't want a Christmas tree or nothing. I was just focused, working, fuck off, don't want a Christmas tree. I just don't want distractions, working.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I came home, and for some reason she got the keys somehow. No, she was looking after the dog sometimes, so she had the set of keys.
Okay, cool.
From the back door, and there was a fucking Christmas tree with presents. And I'm like, this girl's fucking nuts. I love it. You see what I mean? I love it, and yeah. Now we live together, and we're expecting our first, so I'm becoming a dad.
For that, yeah. Congratulations.
And, thank you. This is literally a dream coming true, yeah.
So as the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier for you to find and grow your team. It helps you find the right people faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to tap into the world's largest professional network with over 30 million people in the UK. Then simply add your job title in the purple hashtag hiring frame to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can find the right people for you. Simple tools like screening questions make it easier to focus on the candidates with the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus their leading competitors. So if you're looking to expand and grow your team, simply head over to linkedin.com/CEOCAST and you can post your job for free. Once again, that's linkedin.com/CEOCAST and post your job for free. It's crazy, yeah, because you know when I want to say hustlers are on the journey and all they want to do is work, you don't think about relationships at that point. So, you know, even though I know you said, you know, that she's on your level, she's just as persistent and whatnot, right? But what is it for you that made you want to jump into a relationship?
I didn't want a relationship at all, you know. I didn't want it at all because I came from a relationship of hell.
Yeah.
Like my ex put me in a choice. Either you're going to choose your business or you're going to choose me, but you're going to quit your business when you choose me. I'm like, that's fucking berserk.
Oh, that was your ex?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you absolutely out of your mind?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But like the Nico 2 years before that would have said yes. You see what I mean? But it was now time for me. I knew that it was just the right time for me. It was my time now. She studied and whatever. She became a F1 doctor, first foundation year doctor. It was now my time, right? And that relationship obviously ended. Chose the business quite clearly. And my missus, Migla, my missus now, like, she is like, the business number one, because that's the future of our family. Yeah, of course. So I'm like, the business is number one, and she knows that, and she says that just herself. She understands that. I don't say that, she says that the business is number one, then it's me.
And that's the sort of partner that you'd want.
Yeah, that's it, because this is my life. This is legacy level. This is like, I want my future. I want my kids to be working in the company. You see what I mean? I don't want to force them into anything, but you see what I mean? I want to. I'm not looking to retire on a few watch deals. Yeah. I'm trying to build a proper watch trading company with a retail presence and everything, all the bells and whistles around it.
Similar to like a watchfinder.
Yeah, but I want to beat Watchfinder.
Yeah. I'll believe the name.
I want to beat Watchfinder, and I'm gonna beat Watchfinder the next two and a half years. Yeah.
Because they're almost like a. How do you explain it? What's the best way to explain it? Because it's almost like a...
Watchfinder is an incredibly good company that sells certified pre-owned watches, right? Yeah. And they're incredible, right? And they've just, Stuart and Matt, I believe, I think his name is Matt, built the company up together. Sold to Richemont about 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so it's now owned by Richemont. Richemont owns Jaeger-LeCoultre, Cartier, IWC, Roger Dubois. So it's a clever move from Richemont, but that also means that there's a different type of drive in that company, right? Yeah. It's not the same guys, the Stuart.
It's not the same passion.
It's not the same passion.
Was born with.
It's now corporate. And this is where I feel that we can win massive ground, is because our company is driven by passion. We have probably the biggest reach in the world in our industry. And I'm like, if we look at the amount of followers, views, subscribers, I just looked at our count on YouTube today, the last 48 hours, we've done 4.5 million views.
In the last 48 hours.
48 hours that get to see the name, pride, and opinion, and get to see what we actually do. Yeah. I mean, my ambition is there. I want to be the number one, and that means that we're going to have to beat Watchfinder. But I respect Watchfinder a lot. I respect Stuart, who built the company, Matt. And the guys within Watchfinder, Andrew Morgan, the guy with the hands, the YouTube channel. I've always very much looked up to them, and now it's time for me to go into that direction with the. And let me tell you, I have the right people around us. I have the right people around me to achieve that goal. So
no, you smashed it, especially with the YouTube stuff as well. I mean, the vision and everything all coming together. The YouTube crossing 700,000 subscribers, 715 today. 716 now.
Yeah.
Flipping, I just keep growing, innit?
Yeah, but that is subscribers. That's subscribers on a YouTube channel. That's separate,
no,
right?
Of course, business. I know, but it relates in that sense, because like you said, 4.8 or I think it was a million views on the last 48 hours are hearing and seeing pride and opinion.
That's just YouTube. Like, if I go to our website right now, I'll probably have 50, 60, 70 people on the website right now looking at watches, right? And there's a lot of things, a lot of steps we need to do better, right? Because, to give you an idea, Tesla is not a car company. Tesla is a data company, right? People don't realize that. But they're actually a data company, right?
I thought you were just going to say tech company.
I would call them more a data company, but
we'll get to that later.
For me, that is what we want to achieve as well. I want to have data. It's all about being able to analyze the market, being able to see where the prices are, making processes very smooth, making automatic quotes, making processes very easy. But next to all that easy processes and stuff like that, I want to have the personal touch, and I want my team to be on top of that. Yeah.
So let's dive it back, because we left off at the point where you got approved for a 20 grand loan. Right?
Yeah.
So £20,000. What did you do with £20,000?
Bought a Tudor, bought a Rolex 116234. Datejust 36 mil, black dial, like Jubilee bracelet.
What's Tudor one like that?
Tudor Pelagos.
Okay.
And a Breitling Navy Timer D23323. the gold, 42 millimeter gold and steel white dial yellow gold bezel.
Yeah. And did that all total to 20 grand? All total to 20 grand?
Yeah, 20 grand and a bit of change, I think.
Okay, so where was your step from there? Because you got
open an Instagram account, yeah.
So you bought the watches first before opening an Instagram account?
Yeah.
And how easy or how hard was it to sell those watches?
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah? Why so?
But I kept on saying, I can't let down my ex or my partner, I can't let down my father. And it was like, it's hell, mate. Because I just posted photos and nothing fucking worked and nobody really cared. And then I had 10 followers and 20 followers and 25. And then it's like, I don't want to talk in camera, but I have to speak in camera.
Yeah.
And I still have my first video here. My first ever video.
What, on your phone?
Yeah, it's a reminder of it's a reminder of
where you come
how
from.
far I came from, yeah.
I've still got the video of me getting fired from my workplace. I recorded it. I still got it on my phone, yeah.
I mean, that's not something I would share, but...
No, I'm not going to share it, but I mean...
This is the first ever video on Instagram stories I took. It is embarrassing as fuck. Let me tell you, embarrassing as fuck.
While you're finding that, let me ask you, how long did it eventually take you to sell those watches?
First watch I sold after 2 months. I made 50 quid. Also, I bought a Speedmaster. I just seen that photo here. That Speedmaster that was here. I just wore that Speedmaster. This was in October 2017. Sold the Breitling here.
Yeah.
October 2017. If you want these photos, I'll send them to you. That's Tom Gannon. Yeah. Right? It's a good friend of mine. Very, very good friend of mine. And he was my second ever customer. That's where it all started. And today he's still my customer. You know, the funny bit is, my first ever customers are still my customers. It's insane. So this is the Pelagos I sold in October, 7th of October.
Okay, yep.
And that was this watch.
That's a nice watch, yeah.
And I was fixing watches at the time as well, as you can see.
Yeah.
But my first ever video was embarrassing as fuck. Where are you? Right. This is embarrassing. Fuck me, this is embarrassing. For me, this is the first time to make a video like this. So forgive me if I look stupid or if it looks ridiculous. But let me know. I'm going to put up a poll asking you if you would like to see more of this yet. Or no. I'm trying to give you guys a bit more insight into the watch world. About watches we get in. We get in, it was just me. I hope to tell you a bit more about the history of certain watches, etc.
Yeah. No,
how embarrassing is that?
It's not embarrassing at all, but I mean, it's just the fact that you still have it, which is amazing. But you know what you just said there, saying, it was just me. Why do you say we? Do you remember?
I don't know. I just wanted to act bigger than I actually was. Probably that. Because that's what we all do when we have dreams, isn't it?
Of course.
Today I don't give a shit anymore, but I mean, that's what we all do when we want to achieve something, I think. I don't know where that comes from. It's a good question.
Because I notice I do it sometimes as well. Like, I think when I emailed you, I would say, we want you to have you on the podcast.
Aye.
We want this, we want to do this, we want to do that. We, me.
Aye.
Maybe... Well, I think of it as having...
You can just put it on a typo excuse. I was typo, mate. M is very close to the W. What kind of fucking...
Me when you're on the podcast. No, but I think it's just one of them ones where you refer to you and your company with the vision as not different, but... I don't know how to explain it. Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. But we, like...
We'll cut that bit out then. No, leave it in. It's better.
Yeah, you got to leave things natural in that.
Alright, that's it.
So then 20 grand loan, how much did you make on that then?
Don't know how much I made. Because I also got myself into trouble because I couldn't afford my rent anymore after 3 months.
Was there no income at all up until the point of...
No, I just quit my job there now.
Yeah. Oh.
So I didn't have an income. No, it was rough, like.
And then the first watch took 2 months to sell.
Yeah.
So then
September, October, November. So started on the 1st of September, 17th of October was the first sale.
And that was 50 quid. What about
Just to get profit high.
And what about the other watches?
Don't really know. I think I made a loss on that Rolex, to be fair.
Yeah.
About 500 quid or something.
Is it? Okay,
I think I made a big loss on that. Where it really changed for me was when I got in touch with someone that called me, where the local authorized dealer shafted him.
Yeah.
And if I would be able to help him selling his watches on consignment, I'm like, of course we do that. What the fuck do I know, you know? You see, and that was where really the change was. All of a sudden, I had a lot of watches on consignment. Yeah.
So where did the whole change for you? Where did the whole spin come for you when you started realizing, okay, because what did you feel like at the time when you made £50 from the watch?
I tried to find other watches on eBay. I wasn't in WhatsApp groups and stuff at all.
You wasn't?
No, mate.
Yeah. I think I know a lot of watch dealers are always in the WhatsApp groups and stuff. So
I didn't start off with WhatsApp groups. The watch dealers today that start and become they have an easy start.
Into it.
They have an easy start. Immediately a WhatsApp group. Now that didn't work for me, mate.
You got to build your own network. And
fucking
everything.
easy fuckers. Yeah. If you want to become a watch dealer, you need to do it the right way, the hustle way. You fucking ball bags.
You gotta advise them straight. What would you actually advise? Like, would that be your legit?
Oh no, I would genuinely advise from the bottom of my heart, don't go into watch dealing. Like,
Is it?
It's tough, mate. It's fucking tough.
The thing is, a lot of youngsters want to do it.
Oh yeah, but like, I mean, that's fine. But you need to you need to stop thinking about yourself and thinking about other people, right? Because if you're going to be one of the million people that wants to become a watch dealer by just opening an Instagram account, good luck to you. Or you can say to yourself and say, okay, how can I add value to this industry? Can I become the most knowledgeable person or share facts and you know what? And this pisses me off, and it's pissed me off so last 2 years, right? People just start an Instagram account and then become watch dealers and say, this is a great investment. You need to buy this. You need to buy this. Price will definitely rise. You're fucking lying. You see, these are watch dealers that are lying. That say this shit.
Because they want to get the sell.
Because you can't predict that shit. Yeah. You can't. It's not a certainty. You don't know what's happening next week. You see what I mean? Mm. And this is the fucking thing that pisses me off the most, right? Is watch dealers that literally misinform people for their own benefit. And now comes the thing, right? So still say there's a watch dealer that just started off, got a watch on consignment, right? And you sell this watch, but there's something wrong with this watch. Maybe the movement is not even real. Like, where's the customer going back to the seller? But the seller can't really afford to take that watch back because he already paid his other client. You see what I mean? So, like, there's only one person getting hurt there. You see what I mean? And that's the end consumer. And for me, I'm like, why? Like, I heard many stories like that, right? And for me, it's very important. Like, I celebrate people that love the passion of watches and want to go into watches. I celebrate that. But it needs to be for the right reasons. And if you think that you're going to become rich becoming a watch dealer, dream on. Because let me tell you one thing, that's not what brought me to where I am today. Let's put it that way.
What brought you to where you are today?
YouTube changed my life. Changed my financial situation. It gave me confidence I've never had before. It made me fat as well, as you can fucking see. Jesus Christ, I was skinny before. Yeah. Like genuinely, that gave me another chance in the watch industry. Like before COVID, I was selling watches and I was doing very well, and I was still on the verge of bankruptcy.
Bloody hell.
People think that the money is in watches. I buy a Submariner and flip it with 500 quid profit, mate. 500 quid profit.
What's that today?
Luck. No, not today, but that's out.
yeah.
500 quid, right? I need to give my customer 2 years warranty on that for 500 quid. So anything that happens with that watch, I need to cover that. Fuck me, mate. Like, genuinely.
It's not the biggest profit margin then, is it? By the time, if anything, God forbid, anything does go wrong with it, then, that you've only got the 500 quid to play with, essentially.
You see what the thing is, right? You make your money while buying the watch. That's where you make your money, right? So either you're a really good sales guy that buys the watches so sharp from your customers and is basically therefore shafting their customers because, you need to give them a fair price. Yeah. Or you're selling them way too high. And that's fine as well. But for me, becoming a watch dealer, like we're solid now, right? As a business, we're solid. We have the reputation, we have the shop, we have the stock, we have the finances, we have everything now sorted, right? But if you told me to walk this road again, I would have said no, because it's been hell. Like.
So even though you've been passionate about watches, if you
I would do other things in the watch industry. I would keep on repairing watches. Yeah, 100%.
Seriously?
Yeah, because it was this tough.
I thought you would have just changed a couple of things, a couple of strategies, but I didn't think you would say you wouldn't do it.
No, because I genuinely wouldn't do it.
Bloody hell. So there's a lot of stress and a lot of... That's the thing, people don't see the disadvantages. That's why I wanted to get you on, because you see...
People see the flashy shit and blah, 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 and all the
cars that come with it.
It's the jewellery where people make money on, right? It's the jewellery, the iced out shit, that's where you make money on.
Yeah.
And guess the one thing I don't do?
That.
Jewellery and iced out shit. So I our road is, my road, like the road of me, the road of my team, it's been absolutely rough in every way possible. But let me tell you one thing, it is the best job in the world in the end. For me, I will die doing what I do every single day. I will die. This is the last thing I'll ever do in my life. Yeah.
Talk to me. Yeah, you just mentioned the ice out, right? If I wanted to put diamonds, I would never do it because I wanted to ruin
No,
this.
because then I would first of all declare you crazy. Second of all, it would kind of be unique because I don't think that there's any iced out.
I don't think anyone would do it anyway. Yeah. But firstly, how much did it cost? And secondly, Tudor's a bad example.
I can ice that out for 1,750 quid ex VAT today. Not today, it will not be finished today, but it will be.
Get it done, yeah.
It'll take 3 weeks.
Yeah. Tudor's not the greatest example because these wouldn't really go up in price anyway. So, okay, let's take let's just say someone's stupid enough to put diamonds on a Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much? Same sort of price, I'm guessing.
Same sort of price. Yeah.
And how much does that affect the value of the watch?
It would devalue the watch with 60%.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what? Hulks are only worth about 23 grand, I want to say.
23, 24, something around that,
Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah. And then
so good luck.
60s. Yeah.
But listen, it's not about the devaluing of the actual watch. For me, the biggest problem and the thing I always try to have people always say, he's a fucking extreme. Yes, I am. Because people flexing, oh, look at this diamond fucking shit, acting like it's worth a fucking million when it's worth absolutely nothing. You see what I mean? That is the point. You're basically, like all these people, like the Island Boys and rappers, they're all fucking lying to an audience. Yeah. And now there's someone there that is actually telling the truth. You see what I mean? It's like, no, these GQ videos, this is 90 grand. I'm like, mate, fuck off.
Yeah, like you say in YouTube videos as well, you say it's fake, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, like, this is a funny discussion I recently had with a UK dealer. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
But he said, this is, it's not fake. Why do you, he called me out on an Instagram post that someone else posted. Some big page posted that video. And he called me out on that, but he didn't realize that I watch and see everything. Yeah. So I immediately just replied, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, this plonker, he knows nothing, right? A big UK seller in London. And I was like, he's calling it fake when it's not fake. And I just simply replied, who made that dial? ? He's like, is that dial made by AP ? He's like, no, of course not, because the tapestry on that dial, you can't put diamonds on there. And I'm like, so who made that dial ? It's an aftermarket dial and this, but it says AP on the dial, right? Audemars Piguet, right? But AP didn't buy it, right? But it said, but AP didn't make it, right? Yeah?
There you go.
So it says AP, but AP didn't make it.
It's not genuine then, is it?
There you go. Yeah. Good luck, right? So it's a fake fucking dial, right? The bezel's fake. That like dial, bezel. A lot of times they don't even use a genuine case because...
I've seen it with the Richard Mills because what they do is they get the car
swap the case.
Yeah, swap the case. And
so
the case is fake.
Yeah, the case is fake as well. Then all of a sudden we're talking about 80% of the fucking watch is fake. And the only thing that's real, the movement. No, the watch is fucking fake because most of the watch is not made by the actual brand. Yeah. And this is the point I tried to make. And listen, I understand it from his perspective, or this jeweler. And I understand it because this was one of his clients that wore that watch. And yeah, me telling the truth about that will hurt and can hurt his business, which I can respect. And I I don't want to hurt anyone's business, but I also don't give a shit about threats. And one thing I do give a shit about is my word and me being real, right? I'm here to, I want to educate the watch world. I want to make an impact on the watch world by telling, not just entertaining people, but also educating people. And this is part of that educational journey where I'm like, people are just misinformed.
So, okay, what's the most expensive watch that we got here right now?
You know what? Price is not the most important thing, but I want to show you some really cool stuff that the world has not seen before.
Grab it and come back on the camera.
Like, for me talking about price, etc. Listen, a watch is only worth as much as someone is willing to pay for it, right? Fact, right? And if there's a piece that is unique, or it's something that is extremely special, it's very hard to measure price, right? Because you can only really see that in auction. But the watch you see here a camera has never caught this watch on camera. This is the first time this watch has ever been seen, right? On camera. This is a piece unique, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, right? Made in full platinum, and look at the symmetry on the dial, right?
Yeah, that does look beautiful.
Looks beautiful. This is actually a watch that is based on the 25th anniversary of the Royal Oak in 1997.
So what year is that watch in?
That watch was officially produced the year prior for that. This watch was produced in 2006. And it's the first time it ever sees daylight.
How comes though? That's quite hefty, you know? I was expecting to be quite light.
This is the only watch ever produced. This is and it says
Can I face it on the camera then?
You can show it. Piece unique.
In focus.
Piece unique. This is, look at the case back.
Automatic piece unique, yeah.
Aye. And you know what? This watch even got its own reference number. And it's the only watch in our reference number.
So how much
made in full platinum.
Full platinum as well. Like, it's actually hefty.
That's heavier than the brick.
Yeah.
So the Audemars Piguet, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore, the brick as we call that, is lighter than this watch.
Have you know the other AP you're wearing? Have you got that in here?
Which one?
The one you were wearing this morning.
Yeah, I have that here. Yeah, I have another AP here.
I just want to see it like comparison-wise. Yeah. So this one here is the AP Royal Oak, right?
Yeah. And you know what a cool bit is? This dial is now, we would now be able to call this the Tiffany dial, right? Because of the collar.
This is a lot heavier than this one.
Yeah.
Like that's
like
crazy.
600 fucking grams or something.
Kilos more like.
Alright.
Yeah, you could take that.
That's a piece unique. This is the only watch in the world.
How much is that?
I don't want to put a figure on it. I know how much it set me back. I know what I've done to get this watch. It brought me to hell and back.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
You know, okay, so let me use this watch as an example, right? How much is this watch?
Approximately 65,000.
£65,000. Is this around is that around the same region as this, or is it a lot more, or?
Oh, I wouldn't sell you a link for that.
Because I'm not the most clued up with my APs, right?
This is extreme territory. This is
the god tier.
This is the world has never seen this dial. The world has never seen this configuration.
Yeah.
The world has never ever seen this watch.
Do you know what I need to know mainly more than anything, right? Where should I put your Royal Oak? What I want to know more than anything is how do you get your hands on a watch like that? What did you have to do to, because it's almost like you got to go through the trenches, you got to find it, you got to do all this, and especially if it's never been on camera. I need to convince that this watch is going to be, that I need to convince the seller to sell it to me. And before, I'm just interested in this now, before, because it's never been on camera, before you acquiring it, had you seen it?
I knew about this watch, and I've hunted down this watch for over 2 years.
Okay.
It's in my possession for over 2 years as well.
Yeah, bloody hell. So then talk to me, how did that whole story come about, when you heard about it, when you thought, I need to get this?
That's like asking a chef about his recipe.
True.
There's a lot of networking and there's a lot of conversations that come to play, a lot of meetings about this with the previous owner, and it's like, are you the right person? For the previous owner, the money wasn't really important, but it was that it was going to go in the right hands. Yeah. That it was going to go under the radar. This is the first time this watch has ever been seen in public. Yeah. And it just needed to be the right process. And we've been able to cover that we've been able to tick every of his boxes. But next to that, being able to realize a very good price for him at the time, which he was happy with. And for us, it made sense for us as a company to invest in that.
That is fucking serious. When you heard that, well, when did you even hear that watch first existed?
First time in 2018.
And what was your reaction?
Doesn't exist.
You thought no? You just thought bollocks?
Yeah.
And then, so where did you understand that it does exist? How long did it take for that process?
Photo, when I saw it for the first time in person.
Okay, so literally up until that point, you still had doubt that this doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Okay,
and the papers and even documentation from AP and even emails and conversations with very important figures within Audemars Piguet. I was like, this could all be fabricated. Yeah. And then I done some proper due diligence, and then it's like I had the watch in my hands, and I was like,
this is the real deal.
Yeah.
That's fucking
There's so many watches out there that the biggest, best, most experienced watch experts don't even know about. And that's the beauty. It's like treasure hunting. But it's insane. And this is the best part of my job, right? Yeah. This is genuinely the best part of my job, right? I don't give a shit about this modern stuff, right? We sell that, right? But to be honest, it's not really my cup of tea, right? This 625, right? 1987, full set, everything there. That's a fucking unicorn. The other stuff, Comex Sea Dwellers, Mark 1, the first ever Comex Sea Dweller. I have that sitting there. I have that sitting here. That is berserk, right? But people don't. But the gross of the people don't really know of the existence of these watches. Yeah. Like watches are now only very recent. Watches are becoming mainstream. Yeah. This is the future, right? Looking at things that people have never heard about.
So if you're listening to this right now, chances are you like to stay on top of things, which is why I want to mention our sponsor, The Economist. Today, the world seems to be moving faster than ever. Climate and economics, politics and culture, science and technology, wherever you look, events are unfolding at pace. But now, for the first time, you can get a 30-day trial of The Economist so you won't miss a thing. Now, the reason why I use and love The Economist is because not only it helps broaden my perspective on things that are going on in the world, but also because it's deeply researched and expert analysis allows me to hone into on what matters the most to me. Like I said, there's a lot going on these days. But with this free trial, you can access in-depth, independent coverage of world events through podcasts, webinars, expert analysis, and even their extensive archives. So whether you want to catch up on events or dive deeper in specific issues, The Economist delivers perspectives with distinctive clarity. So to keep up to date with everything that's going on in the world and dive deeper into what's really going on, go to economist.com/CEOcast for full access to topics that matter to you the most and original analysis as events unfold. So once again, that's economist.com/CEOcast for your 30-day trial with The Economist, because the world won't wait.
Right, there's a big difference here. The lights are switched off.
Yeah.
This is trying to fix the lights. The electricians are coming back.
We had technical issues. The CEO couldn't do it. What did it stand for?
The Chief Erection Officer.
That's it. We went from electrician to what's it called? Erection. Right, I can't remember where we left off, right? But what I do want to ask you is, relating back to your struggles and stuff, you mentioned earlier in the podcast that YouTube saved your life.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to know how YouTube saved your life.
It gave me another chance in the watch world. As we started YouTube as a last resort of saving the company, because as you can see, the shop is based in a hotel. Yeah. And hospitality was the first thing that closed during COVID. So my shop was closed, and my web shop no one was looking on my website, and I had a few followers on Instagram, but I mean, what was I selling all of a sudden? Like, my team was on furlough, and I had my team, I had one other person working.
At the time,
and it literally saved my life, gave me another chance in the watch world.
You mentioned that you were on the verge of bankruptcy, right? So how was you on the verge of bankruptcy?
Because I couldn't afford the rent here, and I couldn't afford the rent in my office. As you can see, it's quite small here, so we don't store the watch boxes and all the papers. We store them in an office.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford it, and that was struggling. Yeah, that was a rough time.
More outgoings than incomes.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, we were selling watches, and I had to sell watches at a loss.
Yeah.
To recoup money, so I could pay at least my one staff member. You see what I mean?
I want to understand, right? Obviously, if people watch your YouTube channel and stuff like that, you have a massive, massive hatred for Hublot.
Yes.
I done a podcast with a guy whose name is Mr. Hublot, right?
Yes, I know him, yeah.
And when I done the podcast with him, he actually had you might grill me for saying this, you might slay
please
me,
go ahead.
He actually had quite a cool watch, yeah? It was the Hublot LaFerrari edition, right? And I actually quite liked the mechanics of it. I thought it was quite a cool watch in that sense.
Why do you think it's cool?
I saw it and I was just like, that looks different to any other watch I've seen. It's not a circular design. No. It literally, they claim it looks like a V12. It didn't really look like an engine, but I mean, the way the things were moving in there, I was like, that's actually quite sick.
If that watch was worth £5,000, would you still like it?
Yeah.
I know the LaFerrari quite well. I know the watch quite well. Personal taste, it looks fucking horrible.
Right? You think, yeah?
Yeah. But the thing with this watch is the price is a feature of the watch.
How much is it? Because
don't know, don't give a shit.
I think when I was researching, they might have changed obviously since I've done the podcast, but when I was checking at the time, I think they were around the 300 grand mark. But the thing is, even Mr. Hublot was saying to me at the time that the reason why he don't like Hublot anymore is because they released the LaFerrari edition, and then I think they released the Sapphire edition, and then they released another edition of that. So
Hublot just releases limited edition after limited edition there, and just to shoot at the mass, and to see like which watch will be a success.
But what is it about them that you actually hate?
I think the value proposition for the Hublot is completely off. It's like wrong. It's like their standard fusions feature a Salida movement, which is also featured that exact identical movement in Hamilton for like 1/10 of the price. You're paying for marketing there, and I respect that the company is a young company that grew quite fast.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. Very good. But it's given the wrong vibe. Hublot is not about watchmaking. It's not about watchmaking skills. It's nothing innovative. It's absolutely zero innovative.
I've heard people say the same for Richard Mille though.
Now tell me anyone that has ever built a chronograph module or full chronograph movement like Richard Mille has done and skeletonized that as well. It's literally showing off. It's like a joke.
It's baller level, isn't it?
It's borderline insane.
Yeah.
And for that, I respect that. I grew into Richard Mille. In the beginning, I really didn't see it and didn't see the value. I now see the value very much. And Richard Mille, we're only at the beginning of it. We're only at the beginning of it. And for me, if I look at Hublot in general and what they represent, it's just not for me. And they're now coming out with this insanely special in-house movement. Nico, funny enough, my name. Nico.
Yeah. Who's this Hublot?
Yeah, Hublot. Because they're catching on. They want to do something themselves. So a good few years ago, they started making their own movements, which I celebrate. But now the finish of that movement, of their most expensive in-house chronograph module, that finish, mate, a basic Grand Seiko is better.
Okay.
Better finished than that.
So their one that they're actually making isn't even that special.
I think Hublot's cutting corners left, right, and center.
Okay.
But that's normal because they're owned by a conglomerate, which means that they're owned by the LVMH group, which means that they have shareholders, and their task is sell units.
To get money.
Sell units. You see what I mean?
No, I hear that. It's completely different market. So it's completely different strategy almost to your Rolexes, your Richard Milles, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but
if they care about volume, then
exactly
anyone can get out.
But that comes the thing, right? Omega also only cares about volume.
Yeah.
But the value proposition for Omega is significantly better.
Yeah.
Because a Speedmaster, if you want to buy a Speedmaster pre-owned, it's like 600-700 quid difference with new.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's 600-700 quid cheaper to buy it pre-owned than to buy it new. With Hublot, it's like fucking you lose 60% right off the bat. Like that, and that shows the actual value proposition.
Yeah.
How much it's actually worth. How much is the market willing to pay for that? I don't give a shit about the investment potential. I don't give a shit. But let me tell you one thing. If you put a Rolex and a Hublot next to each other and you now travel in time in 50 years, that Rolex is still fucking working and that Hublot was already fucking destroyed 40 years before.
4 years ago.
No, 40 years earlier. You see what I mean? That would have already been gone.
It would have been buried.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. You know, some of the most interesting stories come from, I think, from the grey market, right? I had Coron on here and he was telling me times about where he's bought fake watches, you know, the point of being robbed, the sort of stuff like that. Have you had any encounters like that?
No.
Not at all?
No, I'm based in Northern Ireland. Belfast is very safe. I would travel in London. Nowadays, I do travel with security. That means that when I'm in London, I do have a security person with me. But because I'm more in the public eye now.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, because you now have 716,000 subscribers on YouTube, that's big, big, big. And obviously people know you're in the watch game. So if people see you, potential, what's the word? You know, they know your face.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm ignorant by I'm not taking precautions here in Northern Ireland. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not stupid in any way, shape, or form. But like when I'm in London, I always travel with a security guard.
Yeah, you have to. So you haven't had any encounters at all?
No, never.
That's bad.
Funny, I have been stolen from by YouTubers. But
what do you mean?
By a YouTuber, but
are you like a physical?
What? No, like fucking didn't pay me.
Oh, is it?
But listen, that's just that is brutal. But like I've never had a physical, real bad experience.
How would that have worked then? Would you have given him the watch on the basis of like, oh yeah, I'll pay you?
No, I bought 3 watches basically.
Yeah.
And then like. He never delivered. He only delivered one, basically, and that's it.
Okay, so you're still waiting for 2.
And it's like, yeah, and I'm still waiting for 2, and it's like, they're sold or whatever. It's like, give me back my money, will you?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to pay back. Long story short, but like, I mean, there's been a big story about that in the past, and I'm just sick of it. You know what? We're getting that money back somehow in some way, shape, or form.
Fair play. What's your favorite watch at the moment?
My favorite watch I have, or my favorite watch here?
Favorite watch you have that you don't have, whether it's here or not. Just your favorite watch in
my 6265 1987 by far. Like that's like I love the Daytona. Daytona is my favorite watch in the world. Like period. Right, and that's my most favorite watch. And the fact that this is my birth year, I know what I've done to find this piece.
Yeah.
This watch just means a lot to me. So on special occasions, I would wear that watch.
Yeah. What do you think of the Swatch and Omega collab?
Class.
Yeah. You know what? I actually really like it. Yeah. I want to get the Mission to the Sun, but I don't know if I'm willing to prepare to pay £1,000.
Just wait for it. We'll all be available.
Yeah. Because I mean, I was trying to find people, dealers and stuff like that, who got it, and they're all saying, you know, £1,000. I think the lowest I've heard of is £700. And I was just like, you know,
listen, it's not worth £700.
Yeah, no, it's not. No,
right?
I just want to get it because obviously it's yellow. The whole brand in CEOCAST is yellow and sort of stuff. I was just like, yeah, that looks sick. But I mean,
listen, class watch. I think it's really, really cool. It introduced watch collecting to a complete new audience.
Yeah,
and it's going to be the start of a lot of new watch collectors, and I celebrate that. I think it's fucking class. And Omega, I criticize Omega a lot, but I take my head off for this one.
Yeah, is that something like first of its kind that's happened?
Yeah, where you see like a luxury
everyday
brand putting their name on something like that. Okay, they're owned by the Swatch Group, right?
Yeah.
But Swatch itself is like, you have no idea how important Swatch was for the watch world. Like, that's where watch collecting really started.
That's Swatch. Yeah.
Swatch is like the OGs. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Not bad of a price range either.
No, like
if you get it on retail. Yeah.
Like it's cheap fucking movements and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even then, it's just a cool thing.
For the money. But I would have rather seen it like 50, 60 quid cheaper.
Yeah.
For a retail, I think that would be priced better. But like, I mean, they've shown that people are willing to pay insane money for it. Yeah.
I think that's just probably because they haven't produced as many or something like that, and you know.
No, like they've produced absolute
So
a lot.
why is the price gone so sky high on them?
But how many can you produce? Have you seen it? Every SWAT shop in the entire world
Sold out.
I know there were queues in front of the door at every SWAT shop in the world.
Yeah.
And you know what I heard as well, and this is something that really pissed me off, that there's flippers waiting every single day. Today. Like a group of fucking criminals. Like they're literally hunting and scaring other people. Like, and every morning they're there to see if they have new watches.
And they came, how long has it been now? 2-3 months?
Yeah, something like that. I think that's a disgrace.
Yeah.
But what Swatch needs to do is just open it up. Fucking open it up.
Yeah.
Just order it online, done. And then everyone can enjoy the watch collecting journey.
And you see, with the whole watch collecting journey and stuff like that, right? We were talking about this earlier on this morning. Rolex, you're saying they piss you off.
You know what, right?
Because everyone, I talk to cousins, friends, whoever is like into almost watch collecting, right? They all dream of getting Rolexes or whatever it may be.
People know how much obsessed I am with Rolex. I've always priced it said the best things, and it's a fact.
Because the thing is,
right?
on your videos, you don't ever slate Rolex like how you would have Hublot. So
Recently I am, and it's not really the problem. Rolex is not really the problem. It's the people that represent Rolex, the authorized dealers, the jewelers that are the authorized dealers. I think it's wrong in every way possible that you need to be grateful to spend your hard-earned. I think it's wrong in every way possible that you need to be grateful of spending your own hard-earned money, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you need to buy this diamond necklace, then I'll maybe sell you a Rolex. Go fuck yourself. That's not what Rolex is about. That was never what Rolex was about. Rolex always made quality, extreme quality, durable watches. That was what Rolex was about. That's Hans Wilsdorf, right? That's the founder of Rolex. He founded Rolex in 1905 in London, right? That's the man, that's the visionary who thought about influencer marketing way before there was internet. You see what I mean? Mercedes glides, the Mount Everest. Like, that's that man. You see what I mean? Rolex made such a big impact, and I love that so much. But I mean, there's so much corruption now, and where there's money, there's corruption, and I'm not ignorant, right? I understand how this game works. And but there's so much corruption with unauthorized dealers here. Like, I can literally, with one press of a button, I can have a fucking brand spanking new straight from an 80 ceramic Daytona, but I have to pay extra. You see what I mean? And
like under the table.
Under the table, and that is just wrong.
Yeah,
that's just wrong. And to give you an idea, local here, like these guys sell to Hong Kong. Yeah. Right. So they're deliberately selling into Hong Kong. So a person comes here from Hong Kong, right, and then this person sells it to Hong Kong, but first passes by our shop to try to see if I want to buy something. Like, this is just so wrong, and these are the authorized dealers, you see what I mean? And they're supposed to be the most legit people in the industry.
But why are they doing that though? Just for extra money?
Yeah, of course. Because, I mean, like, I understand the point, right? And there's only one solution on that. Like, I can complain as much as I want, right?
Yeah.
But I need to have a solution as well. And AP done this quite well. AP took control over their own sales channels and said, you know what, fuck it. We make our own shops. We control these shops, and we control the price. And the authorized dealers, fuck yous. They literally took away all the dealerships. And this is what I see Rolex will do in the future.
They'll have to. But what about the whole, does the waiting list come into play with that, or?
No, like, waiting list doesn't apply anymore. It's now qualification list, right?
Okay.
How much have you bought with us?
Yeah. The buying history. How much have you spent? What's your account worth?
You call it buying history. I call that qualification list. Have you bought enough your jewelry? Have you done this? Have you bought other brands? Now, maybe I'm allowing you to buy a Rolex.
To buy it, yeah.
That is fucking ridiculous. That's not what Rolex is about. Rolex is an achievement rather than a timekeeping device.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be in any way, shape, or form that way.
With the whole bankruptcy situation on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take for you to bounce back from almost like bankruptcy stage, and then almost, I don't want to say rebuild the business, but build the business up to where the point is right now? You got 17 staff for you, some of the most luxurious watches that we see here and in the office. How long was that period for you? How long did that take?
I think we're still in that period.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why so?
Like, it's not that we will go bankrupt, but it's like we're still in that journey. Like, we're still in that build up and building up that business. We're not stopping. We're not slowing down. I just hired 2 new people. Like, I'm putting in the throttle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm not gonna stop. Like, I mean, how long it took me to get out of danger zone? That was a good bit of 1.5 years. Yeah. But now we're not in danger zone. Now we're in next stage zone. So every part of our journey that wasn't planned, right? That wasn't planned, surpassed. Now everything is planned. We have a proper team. We have a proper board. We have a proper people in our business that have experienced. Stephen, my right-hand man, with running so many shops in the past, authorized dealers. He worked for worked for Goldsmiths.
Yeah.
Right? And like, we now have the experience in-house, and now it's like full throttle in. Like,
I want to understand something as well, right? And before I make a fool of myself on camera, have you got an actual collab with Casio?
No.
Oh, so the God tier watch? I thought, is that not?
No.
Oh,
We came up with that.
Oh shit!
It just came up in a random tier list video, in the first ever tier list video.
Yeah. No,
God tier.
Yeah. Because I thought you had a collab with Casio.
No, Casio's never paid me a penny, nor did I ever receive a free watch. Casio, get your shit in order, for fuck's sake. I deserve at least a fucking free watch.
Yeah.
For all the fucking promotion I've done.
Yeah, they look quite sick.
Like, we've been talking to them, and I wanted 10,000 watches, and they said, yeah, we're going to do that.
That's what I was thinking. I saw that video or something.
Like, we were planning to do that, and then all of a sudden, it just
never happened.
Like, they just closed communications. Like,
that's mad.
I'm like, get the fuck, you cunt. Fucking hell.
I want to end this podcast on this question, right? You get paid from YouTube, right? Like, it's good money in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, with the stress of the business and everything that you have to do for Pride and Pinion, right? Yeah. What makes you want to continue with Pride and Pinion when essentially you could still live a good life with YouTube?
Yes.
Because you could still be a watch expert. You could still be rating other people's watches.
I love that. To be honest, I love that question. Pride and Pinion is about my life. Pride and Pinion is my life. It's everything I've ever wanted. It's my dream. And there's more important things in the world than money. There's legacy. And when I die, when I'm done, I want there to be a business. I want there to be a story, a journey, and my journey. And I want my kids to look at that and think, okay, my dad worked his fucking ass off. I want other people to look at that and think, fuck me, that guy that was capable of nothing, that ludicrous, that weirdo, that fat, small, short guy that we always underestimated, done something that is still here. That's Pride and Pinion, right? And the reason why I will never stop with Pride and Pinion, I will only push till we've achieved what we wanted to achieve in this case. It is we, although I'm still sole shareholder and sole owner. My whole entire team is behind me, and we all want to achieve this.
There's a full team behind you now.
Yeah, the whole team, and everyone that works with us now.
Yeah.
We had one person left, but he became a teacher.
Okay.
We've only one person that ever left. These guys are here from the start now. And we have a collective goal to be going from an underdog position to beat the biggest in the industry, and I want that to be known. And okay, I am a foul mouth, wee bollocks, but it doesn't make me not an expert in my field. The way I speak shouldn't be a factor it shouldn't be coming into play in the knowledge I want to share.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And like that's my goal, and that's my end goal. There's more important things than money. And the YouTube channel allows me to do this without investors, because the money that comes into from YouTube
put it back straight to Pride and
Pinion.
Pinion.
Business. And that allows us to build up our stock levels, build up our company, and that allows me to leave something behind. Yeah. Legacy
and there was one watch we were talking about this earlier in the afternoon, right? And there's one watch for you where you said you don't want to get that watch until it's all done.
Yeah.
So
whenever I've achieved everything, it's the first watch. It's the watch that got me into this obsession I have today. Whenever I buy that watch properly and it's my watch, it's my birth year watch.
Full set.
Full set and everything is there. Whenever I find that watch, I know it's over.
Is it a case of it's a rare watch to find?
No.
So if you wanted to, you know you could do it today?
Yeah.
So what stops you from doing that?
Because I'm not finished.
You're nowhere near finished.
I'm not finished. I'm nowhere near finished. This is just the beginning of it. Like, this is the first year where a big mass all of a sudden know about Pride and Opinion. This is the first year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all those people that watch the videos now and whenever they're ready to buy their first ever luxury watch,
Come to Pride and Opinion.
the first thing they think about is Pride and Opinion, mate. This Nico is, I want to be there. We're just in the beginning of it. This is just the start of it. And that watch will say I will retire. That's the watch that started it for me. It's the 16613, the blue dial two-tone Rolex Submariner. And it needs to be a proper full set and unpolished, and it needs to be, that's the watch that started it all. Yeah.
Nico, before I love you and leave you and head back to London, I have one last final question that came to my head, top of my head, right? Obviously you're expecting a baby boy.
Yeah.
Now, if your baby boy, as he grows older, comes and stumbles across this podcast with his dad on it, right? What's the advice and what's the message you'd leave for your son?
Never listen to anyone. Just listen to yourself.
Look at him in the camera, address him.
That's mad. Like, never listen to anyone. Never. Always follow your own gut. Never give up, and fight for yourself. And that's what I've done. I've been through hell too many times, and I came out of it better than I came into it. And enjoy the journey as well. Like, I'm now, this year is the first time I have money in my pocket, so all of a sudden I can do something nice and I can go on a nice holiday. I've never done that. It's mad. And I'm gonna buy my first house. I've never been able to buy a house. Still don't own my own house yet. It's good, like, so fight your fights and stand up for yourself. Never listen to anyone. Listen to yourself. Listen to your gut, and you get good back. When you give good, you get good back. My father taught me one thing, right? If you give €1 away, somewhere down the line you get €2 back. So do good, and you'll always receive good. That's it. That's weird. I've never thought about that. That's
a beautiful one, though. I could see you getting emotional with it.
Yeah,
and
because
there's every reason to.
Because this is one of the things. Like, I've always been the underdog my entire life. I've always been the underdog, and I'm done with that role. You see what I mean? I'm done with that. People have always underestimated me, and now I'm just showing results. I want to pay back with results, and it's tough, but it's worth it. In the long run, it's always worth it. Yeah.
Well, Nico, it's been amazing to have you on.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come down to Belfast, doing this podcast episode, and sharing your knowledge and inspiration to inspire other people as well.
I always said I never want to be an inspiration because my road was rough, but
with hardship comes ease.
That's it. Thank you so much, bro.
Nico Jr., if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to CEOCAST and your dad.
That's it, boy.
He'll be probably the 10th millionth subscriber. Probably more than that at that point. But Nico, once again, thank you very, very much for
No worries, bro. Thank you.
Thank
you.
How's that?
Didn't expect that. Wow.
Yeah, I could see it.
Like, yeah, that's tough. Like, people don't know what kind of hell. Like, everyone has his hell, right? Everyone has his own fights.
Yeah.
And but stuff. People don't see that.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life I have money in my pocket. First time in my life.
At what age now?
34. Yeah.
The camera's still rolling, so I'm gonna ask you this question, right? Do you believe that there is no expiration date for following your passion and becoming your true self? And
Never. You can only excel in the things you really love. You can become the best at it if you really love it, if you're passionate about it. And there's no expiration dates on that. It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you've given it everything you have. You see what I mean? There's no like KFC, your man was fucking whatever how old he was. But like, it's the first time having money in my pocket. I'm 34. I don't even own my own house yet. We're now in the process of buying my own house. Like, I mean, it's a rough road. First year in my life that I have money in my pocket is like that I can actually, like, I can now buy stuff for my first child without really having to look at a price. Like, of course, I know the value of a coin, and I've worked too hard for money to disregard anything, and I will always try to go for the cheapest in the bargain and whatever, and I'm very solid in that. But there's no stress. I'm not stressed for the first time in my life that if I buy this, there's maybe something I can't do. I'm not stressed about it anymore, and that's brilliant.
That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear. Are you gonna buy your son a watch when he's born?
Yeah.
What, have you got one in mind or anything like that?
Yeah. Same one my mom and dad bought me. Yeah.
Okay, is it? Yes. What do you think?
Maybe I'm gonna give that one.
How does your dad feel about you now? Obviously, because you didn't want to go back. You know, he told you you're gonna be back in 3 months, right? Obviously, he probably knows how. My
father was never the man that said, "I'm proud of you," right? Yeah. He's a very hard-working man. Comes from like his father. My grandfather was a very charismatic, strong man. Yeah. And but recently he told me he was proud of me, and that was
hit you.
Yeah, that hit me very well, very hard, right? And he's now becoming a granddad. Like, my parents went through hell with me when I was young, in school and problems. And it's the first time that they also realize, okay, now everything is just good. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah. And that's nice at their older age that they can just now grow older without having the stress of one of their kids, right? It's nice as well, that feeling. And that's what my parents deserve.
I think any parent deserves that. You know?
Definitely.
That's it.
Definitely.
Well, Nico, once again, thank you very much, man.
You're a fucking legend, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Honestly. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Cut. Cunt.